Hi there, Ifit Alice here, and here we are in Parsha Emor. Now, last week we saw through the Parsha that really we're focusing on this idea of being holy. And we discussed last week what it means to be introspective and to really focus on that attribute and how it's really not that lofty and something that we can easily work on. Now, throughout this whole book of the Torah, which is Vayikra, Leviticus, really focuses on this idea of holiness through the Kohanim, through the sacrifices and everything within the temple. And then here in this week's Parsha Emor, we see something very, very interesting, which is the idea of the Mekalel, the person that blasphemizes the name of God. Now, really, in this book of the Torah, you don't have so many stories. Now, the fact that this is one of the very few stories that is mentioned in this week's Parsha shows you that there's something particular about the way that it's placed here, especially because you're looking through different laws of the sacrifices, talking about different holidays, and out of nowhere, you have this story. What is the significance of the story right here in this week's Parsha, in this book, on top of everything that we've been learning about with the idea of being holy and connecting to God? And perfectly, obviously, it's in the exact place that it's meant to be, which is that we're supposed to realize that really when we think of being holy, now that we understand that it's not just this lofty idea and something that is so difficult, but something that on a practical level is something that we can work on every moment and really can start with the smallest thing that can lead us on the pathway to being a holy person. But what about the way that we affect others? What about the way that we make people think and feel? The actions that we take are not only about us being holy, but the effect that we have on others. And we see that in the case of the Mekalel, the person who blasphemizes the name of God, that actually the people who have to take him to court, that witnessed him swearing and blasphemizing God, now have to repeat that as a witness in order to actually bring anyone to justice. You have to declare to the judges exactly what happens. You can't just say that somebody blasphemized God. You actually have to say the words. Then what happens is everyone that hears this has to rent their clothing, has to rip their clothing because of the horrible thing of hearing such horrible words. Now, not only does the Mekalel, the person who actually said these words, become a different person because of what he said, he's taken himself away from that idea of holiness. He's actually affected the people around him. And this is the constant dichotomy that we have to live with ourselves. Oftentimes we're focusing on ourselves. How can I be the best version of myself? What do I need to do? But sometimes we miss the boat on how we affect others. And that is also so crucial and so important. You can easily change someone's day just with a smile. You can inspire someone just by one small act. There's so much that we can do to make ourselves holy, but so easily we can also affect others. We need to constantly be aware of that because really, we are one Jewish nation. We see in this also in this Parsha that it's no coincidence that we're talking about the holidays that bring all the Jewish people together. Sukkot, Shavuot. When we're talking about these holidays, we have this idea of Jewish unity and everyone coming together. It's put right in this place because truly, in order to be a holy person, we need to focus on our actions, but not just our actions and how that makes us, but how that affects everyone around us. And since we already know that we're so awesome, we can do it. Shabbat Shalom.